think there are a lot of points in how to choose the right solar company. So to give the main ones, the things that are important to look out for, and I understand that what I'm about to say is definitely laced with personal opinions. My personal opinions come from having been in this business for almost a decade, seen a lot of stuff. I've seen a lot of changes over the years, not all for the better. And so my opinions are not just formulated, they're not just some guy with an opinion, they're based on my history and my experience within this industry. But one very strong opinion I have is that if you're looking to go solar, you want to find what's called a vertically integrated company. And what that means is it's vertically integrated as in it does everything, not some third-party company. That is a big thing in the solar space today. And I think it's unfortunately lended itself to very diminished view of people's experience going solar, because you've got one company that's selling it and another company that's installing it. And that can lend itself to a whole lot of finger pointing when things don't go right. The installer will say, well, that's the salesperson that made that promise. And the salesperson was like, well, I've got no control over that. That's up to the installer to do that. And ultimately the customer's caught in the middle. That's just one very general, broad example of what can go wrong. But ultimately, if you've got a vertically integrated company, the buck stops with the owner of that company. Any promises that's made by a representative of that company have to be fulfilled by the owner of that company. If they're not, then there are consequences for that. The owner of that company is the license holder, the insurance holder. They work with the banks and the lenders. There are a lot of consequences that can, and the reputation, the online reputation. And so there's a lot of accountability on the shoulders of the owners and the management of the company that is being represented in your home. So if you've got a sales arm that represents somebody else, an installer that represents a different party, and then that installer also uses subcontractors on top of that, there's just zero accountability, and everybody will just pass the buck and point the finger. So working with a vertically integrated company that doesn't use subcontractors, that doesn't use a sales branch of a different organization, to me is very, very important. You'll get the best, in most cases, you'll get the best experience with a company that's vertically integrated. Online reviews are very, very important. Every salesperson, you can talk to 10 different solar companies, then you'll have 10 different salespeople telling you they're the best and telling you why. None of them are going to say that their competition is better. Of course, they're not going to say that. So you've really got to do your own diligence and look into online reviews, find out a little bit about the company's history, how long they've been around, that kind of thing. So there can be a lot of fake online reviews. If you've got a company that's been around 5 or 6 years and they've got 1,000 reviews, chances are most of them are fake. They usually don't get 1,000 reviews in 5 years. So you've got to use some discretion or some discernment, I guess, when trying to figure out what's real, what's not. But if you've got a company that has, even 200 reviews and they're all 5 stars, that's kind of impossible to do in reality. So you're probably not going to get a company that has 100% 5 stars. So just, again, use your discernment to figure out what's real. Read the bad reviews, as well as if there's been a follow-up, the company owner, a responsible company owner, will read or a manager, CEO, whatever, will read the reviews, so the bad ones, and then respond to them. And so you want to see both sides of the story. A lot of times you might have a customer there's nothing you can do to make them happy. That's just the kind of person they are. Other times they'll have a very good point and there might not be a response from the company. So just take all that into consideration, really trying to figure out who you're working with using those reviews.